Hello, my friends. Welcome to Chats with Faith. In my previous episodes, I told you about how buying a house last year forced me to transition from a staying-at-home mom to a working mom. Now that I have worked full-time for more than 10 months, I feel it is about time to look back and reflect on what it has been like to be a working mom. First, let me start with the good part. One thing I feel that working full-time has helped me is that it made me better at time management. It taught me to pay attention to how I spent my time and how to use my time economically. I learned to be more disciplined in managing my schedule and the kids' schedule. On the weekdays, other than previously scheduled activities such as kids' after-school activities or doctor's appointments, I try not to add anything else to my schedule. If anything can wait till the weekend, I try my best to leave them to the weekend. Since I no longer have the luxury of running to the store any day of the week, I've learned to plan ahead and think of what the family would need the entire week when I do grocery shopping over the weekend. I also try to make a big meal on Sunday nights, so that on Mondays it would be just some light cooking in addition to the leftovers. I've learned to make every working hour count. After the kids go off to school till the time I pick them up, the hours in between are my only alone time. I need to make sure I complete most of the work that requires my undivided attention during that block of time. Efficiency and productivity matter. One thing I do to increase my productivity is to turn on Mozart as my background music. I'm not sure if it can be backed by science, but I do find that listening to Mozart can boost my brain power and help me focus. I also find that a productive day starts from a good night's sleep. Therefore, it is important to guard my sleep time, including the time that leads to sleep. I also learned to manage time in small intervals. I learned that even in 15 minutes, I could accomplish something meaningful. Not sure if it's true or not. I heard that Bill Gates manages his time in 5 minutes intervals. I'm not quite there yet. If I achieved that kind of time management, maybe I can become a billionaire too. Just kidding. But kiddings aside, those are good disciplines I feel will benefit my life even if I don't work. Another big benefit from working is the opportunity to have a social life with other adults. Although my coworkers and I all work remotely, we do have in-person team lunches once in a couple of months. And we have had in-person team building events which were a lot of fun. For some special occasions, we've had team lunches at Zoom meetings in which we ordered our lunch separately and ate together in front of our computers, chatting with other team members or playing games. It is not the same as eating lunch together in person, but it is a different kind of fun. During weekly team meetings, we would also play group games and share some photos of what happened in the past week, which is sort of like sharing a little bit of our lives together. I wouldn't have had this kind of social lives if I did not work. Depending on your personality, this may or may not be important to you, but I found that it met my needs for communications with my peers. I enjoyed chatting with people and getting to know people. Although my company only has several hundred employees, I got to know some very cool and talented people. This is definitely something that enriched my life. Following that, working also keeps me in pace with the world. I learned to use the most current technology in my field. I am more connected with what is going on in the world that might affect my company, my industry, and the world economy as a whole. And my communication skills, social skills, and organization skills are also sharpened through working. And of course, the biggest benefit of working is the financial comfort. As we have a sizable mortgage, having two incomes does give us room to breathe. After paying off the monthly expenses, there is still some extra we can put aside and save up. It does make us feel better about our financial conditions. Personally, I can have a little bit more liberty to spend money on things, not necessarily luxury or expensive stuff, just things that may not be what I need, but something that would make me happy, which I'm definitely very thankful for. Everything has its pros and cons. Now, let me talk about the challenging part of being a working mom. The biggest drawback of being a working mom is that there seem to be always more things to do than you have time for. As we get more comfortable financially, we are more tied up with time. Time has become a scarce commodity. I do not have as much time to spend with the kids. I do not have time to read a book. I do not have time to chat with other moms after school. I do not have time to casually stroll down the aisles of a grocery store any day of the week. One thing that I'm quite sad about is that I do not have time to volunteer at kids' school or chauffeur them to field trips as I often did before. Another thing that I dislike, which is sort of related to a busy schedule, is that I feel more tired at the end of the day. Even if I still have some time left after the kids go to bed, I have no energy left to do anything productive but to collapse in bed myself. And of course, working full-time also involves the stress of having to perform in front of others, meeting deadlines, and sometimes working overtime to finish an urgent request. Those are the things that I find challenging about working full-time. However, those challenges also drive me towards God. As Psalm 46 says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Every weekday morning, I would pray to God before I start work. I pray for His grace, protection, wisdom, and ability to carry all the responsibilities on that day. The past 10 months can bear witness that God is faithful, and He does provide. Other than the daily strength He provides, I also see God's grace upon me in many other ways. The biggest blessing is that I am able to work from home. I started this job working from home because of the pandemic. I wasn't sure how long it would last. I secretly prayed that I could keep on working from home even after the pandemic is over. In March, my husband's company and many companies in our area started to order employees to go back to the office, at least partially. In April, my company did an employee survey about going back to the office. 80% of the employees voted to keep working from home. Therefore, my company made a decision to become a remote-first company, meaning that all employees can work from home permanently. I'm so thankful about this decision. Every day, I realize what a big blessing this is. I'm able to pick up my kids from school at the same time as before, so they can come home straight and rest and play and do homework the same as before. After they get home, I do need to go back to my desk and continue working for a while. But if the kids need anything urgently, I can be present. This is the least disruptive way to their life. As a matter of fact, I don't know how else I would have been able to work full-time as well as take care of my kids in a way I'm comfortable with. God also protected me during a company-wide layoff. One Monday morning in March, when I turned on my computer, I received an email from the CEO of the company and learned that in that morning, 1/3 of the employees were let go due to the company's poor Q4 performance. Although I was blessed with oblivion before this happened, and it didn't impact me, it was a wake-up call to me that the opportunity to work is not to be taken for granted. It is a blessing to be able to keep my job. After the layoff, the company also went through a big reorganization. As a result, I was switched to a new team reporting to someone who got reorged to our team. I was not happy at first, because after only 2 months of working, I was just getting used to my team and my boss. Now I had to get used to a new team and new boss. But as I started to work in a new team, I realized it was actually a blessing in disguise. My new manager is very knowledgeable and encouraging. He taught me the skills that I lacked and really helped me to stand on my feet at work after staying home for 4 years. It's hard to believe that I've already worked for more than 10 months. How do I like it so far? I have mixed feelings. I like some parts of working, but I also miss the freedom that I had when I didn't work. I wish one day I could find a way to go back to that kind of life. But for now, this is the path that the Lord had laid for me in this season of my life. and He's given me enough strength and grace to walk down the path. Even though I wish one day I could live a less busy life, I still would like to live a productive life, not just sitting around and vacationing. I think an alternative I'd like to have is to work on something that I enjoy and am passionate about while having a schedule that allows me to spend more time with my kids and family. I pray that the Lord will provide me a way to achieve that. Thank you for listening to today's Chats with Faith. No matter where you are in time, in space, and in life, may the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face towards you and give you peace.